And yes, indeed, we're doing it again. Roll up, ladies and gentlemen. One man went to mow. Yes, indeed, we are doing it again. Our question is, are you doing it with us? The session has commenced and your company is required. So if you are available, then avail yourself of the session for however long it lasts. You know what we do here. So if you want to participate, then you're more than most welcome. It's an open microphone session, and the open microphone is the hyperlink that you see in the comment section that says StreamYard. So if you clicked on that hyperlink, then you'll be held in the studio space. And as soon as I've read out the talking points, then I just invite you onto the screen, let you onto the screen, and then I'll sample your opinions around the talking points. So that is how it works. It's simple and straightforward, something innovated into the space by this platform. One man went to mow the guy you are looking at on your screen. The eagle has landed.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 holy. Another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. In your madika, yabika kokwa namno wow. Hey, ana mekele mazuche mefo. Mwanemo, it's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 holy. Is another Savior.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 holy. They were singing out, holy, 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 holy. Is another Savior. Holy, holy. Whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. Inyamadika, yabika kwa namno wow. Hey, anamekele mazuche mefo.
And there you heard it. Holy, 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 holy Nnamdi Kanu is another savior. The Okoro people from the east. So holy, 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 holy Nnamdi Kanu is another savior. As guys, I bring you this. Abacha loot. United States resume process to seize $150 million from Kebbi State Governor Abubakar Bagadu. So, or Bagudu. So there it is right there. The Kebbi State Governor is in control of 150 million American dollars, and that is what the Americans are chasing. But that 150 million American dollars, of course, not the totality of the money that he controls. So if they are chasing $150 million, that will be about 10%, we can presume, of the sort of money that this guy controls. So just note that we're talking about Kebbi State, just a satellite, nondescript, sand and dust sort of space. Nothing going on there, but this guy controls $150 million dollars, enough for the Americans to be chasing. So this just speaks to the level of both wealth and corruption in the Nigerian space. Abacha loot, United States resume process to seize $150 million from Kebbi Governor Abubakar Bagudu. So there you have it. It's just an avalanche of corruption. 2023, APC will continue ruling but not meeting Nigerians' expectations. This is El Rufai making this confession. So he is telling us just off the back of this headline that they will continue to be in charge of the country, have dominance over the Nigerian space, even though they don't meet the expectations of Nigerians. So if the expectations of Nigerians are not met and elections are coming up in 2023, then surely the expectation will be that the Nigerians will look elsewhere. But what this guy is saying to us, just going off the back of the headline, no matter what you think and no matter what you say, we will continue to be in charge of this country. So that just tells his whole story right there. But then when we get into the details, we'll see how he justifies this headline. 2023, APC will continue ruling, but not meeting Nigerians' expectations, says the diminutive governor of Kaduna State. And the expectations not being met is now having real time and real world and real life consequences. So one of the consequences of expectations not being met by the Fulani government is this next headline. Guinness moves headquarters to Ghana amidst harsh business environment. So Guinness Nigeria, a lot of you may be aware and some of you may be surprised to hear, is the largest Guinness plant in the world. The largest Guinness production plant in the world is the one situated in that Ikeja area in Nigeria. The volume of Guinness being produced there is twice as much as is being produced in Ireland, where that drink comes from. So they are the biggest asset now being headquartered in Ghana because of the way Buhari is running the country. And they tell us that they will continue that way, whether you like it or not, and they will continue to have dominion over the country, whether you like it or not. Guinness moves headquarters to Ghana amidst harsh business environment. So there it is right there. They will set that country back to the 13th century, whether you like it or not, because they want to take you back to that Islamic core sort of environment. So that is the goings on there. And now to the goings on here. APC's presidential candidate is expected to come from the south. El Rufai still speaking, even though APC continues to tell us that they are ceding the presidency to the South. Some people will still come and tell you that that is not the case. But this is a senior voice now within this space, hammering down and doubling down on that assertion that came out about 2-3 weeks ago. APC's presidential candidate is expected to come from the South, a headline attributed to El Rufai. So we land finally on this. Misconduct. NURTW suspends MC Oluomo indefinitely. So you all know the narrative of MC Oluomo, Tinubu's own personal agbero and thug, but it looks as though he has now been suspended by the Road Transport Union. But why? So hold on to that teaser until we get into the body of the narrative. Misconduct. NURTW suspends MC Oluomo indefinitely. So there it is right there. So kick back, lean back, take it easy. If you want to come and discuss any of these points that I've raised as talking points, click on the hyperlink to come on screen, and click also on the subscribe button if you haven't done that already. And of course, click on the like button for reasons that I explain all the time. That is what propels the platform on the YouTube algorithm, and it brings the conversation even to a higher level, because then of course we attract more people, which is more quality, and then the conversation gets even more pruned down and more intellectual and more engaging. So all of that wrapped up and mixed up in just you clicking just one button. So that is the magic of that button. So go on and do the clicking, and as you go about doing the clickings, let me provide a little bit of a musical backdrop by way of encouragement. I take you to the east to partake in another Python dance.
Do I pop? O Mary, o Nindizu, o Nigeria, Abakare, Mama Daora, Unapoli Mary Nandi, win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi, win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Na Python dance 3, Unapoli Mary Nandi bu onye du aimo, o Mary Nindizu, Ndiro ya, Abakare, Mama Daora, Unapoli Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi.
So there you heard it. Python Dancy, Nnamdi wins the war. Python Dancy, Nnamdi wins the war. The Igbotics from the east. So Python Dancy, Nnamdi wins the war. As guys, I bring you this. Abacha loot. United States resume process to seize $150 million from Kebbi Governor Abubakar Bagudu. So now let's now see what Bagudu has been up to. The United States of America has resumed legal proceedings. The United States of America has resumed legal proceedings to seize $150 million allegedly laundered by Governor Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi State. In the joint status report seen by correspondents, Mr. Bagudu, a member of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC, let me start that all over again. The United States of America has resumed legal proceedings to seize $150 million allegedly laundered by Governor Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi. In the joint status report seen by correspondents, Mr. Bagudu, a member of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC, failed to reach favorable terms for an out-of-court settlement with the United States authorities. The parties thanked the court for having stayed the case to facilitate settlement discussions, but report that they have been unable to reach a settlement. As such, the parties shall resume litigation per the schedule set forth in the court orders, except as otherwise modified by the court, a court document from the District of Columbia said. In 2020, both the United States authorities and the Bagudu family acquired a stay of judgment to enable the parties to negotiate a resolution. But with no agreement reached, the case was set to resume on March the 4th. On August the 21st, 2020, on August the 21st, 2020, the parties jointly requested that the court stay all proceedings in this litigation so that they might focus their time and resources on pursuing such settlement discussions, the status report said. It added the court granted the motion, state proceedings through November the 30th, 2020, and ordered the party to file a joint status report 1 week prior. The court has since granted 5 further extensions of the stay. The current stay expires on the 4th of March 2022. The United States claimed that Mr. Bagudu was part of a syndicate controlled by former Nigerian dictator Sani Abacha and had misappropriated billions of dollars from state coffers in the 1990s. In 2019, the Nigerian government said it could not assist the United States in the case, claiming it is bound by a settlement reached by Mr. Bagudu and a previous Nigerian government in 2003. Mr. Bagudu's case with the federal government reportedly allowed him to return $163 million to the Nigerian authorities in exchange for all outstanding civil and criminal claims against him to be dropped. In 2018, the President Buhari regime reached a new agreement with Mr. Bagudu. This involved transferring the ownership of the investment portfolio worth $154 million to the Nigerian state, which in turn would pay $108 million to Mr. Bagudu and affiliates, according to the United States court document. The United States Department of Justice on February 2020 said it requested the United States Department of Justice in February 2020 said it requested Mr. Buhari's regime to withdraw the litigation it had commenced in the United Kingdom that was hindering its efforts to forfeit laundered funds held in Bagudu's name. So there it is right there. And this guy is still sitting, by the way, as the Kebbi State Governor. It's unbelievable, but it is happening. It is unbelievable. Those two things, they stand as true. It is unbelievable. One, because the mind boggles, it befuddles the mind. You know, $163 million this guy returned. They gave him $180 million back. $150 million still being held by the Americans in litigation because he's not able to pay people off and he wants to keep as much of it as he can. But so that then tells you that the totality will be in excess of $1 billion, close to $2 billion just from this Bagudu in Kebbi State. So what about the rest of them? So Nigeria has boundless wealth, but that wealth is held. This is stealing in open glare now. They say they are fighting corruption, and Buhari is paying this guy back the money that they are recovering from looting. So this it is unbelievable, but it is happening, and that is Nigeria. Those two are statements, are standalone. They stand to truth. Unbelievable, and it is happening. Guinness moves headquarters to Ghana amidst harsh business environment. Guinness Nigeria PLC has moved its corporate headquarters from Lagos, Nigeria to Ghana. Sources familiar with the report told correspondents that the brewery maker were only moving their headquarters from Lagos and not completely relocating from Nigeria. The relocation comes, let me start that entirely all over again. Guinness Nigeria PLC has moved its corporate headquarters from Lagos, Nigeria to Ghana. Sources familiar with the matter told correspondents that the brewery maker were only moving their headquarters from Lagos and not completely relocating from Nigeria. The relocation comes amidst harsh economic conditions stifling business operations in Nigeria. The nation has, in the past week, suffered telling fuel scarcity and perpetual blackout occasioned by collapse uh, of the national grid. Earlier in the week, diesel, which is used to power most industrial power generator, sold as high as 540 naira per litre. Nonetheless, the brewery company, in a statement, reassured Nigerians of their commitment to keep investing in the country. They were, however, quiet about relocating their headquarters to Ghana. The company also denied being chased away by harsh business environment in Nigeria, but economists believe this was just to avoid riling up Nigerian authorities as the company still has its largest African market and investment in Nigeria. Commencing operations in Nigeria in 1962, the brewery company has been coordinating its West African operation from its Ikeja headquarters until recently. The development placed Guinness Nigeria in the league of other businesses like Unilever and Dunlop that have left Nigeria for Ghana. So there it is here in Ghana. So there it is now in Ghana. So there it is now. APC's presidential candidate is expected to come from the pardon me, oh, I skipped this. Okay, let me go to this one first. I'm not sure if I skipped this. Hold on, bear with me. Okay, I think I may well have skipped this. So let me come to this. 2023, APC will continue ruling Nigeria, but not meeting Nigerians' expectations. El Rufai drops that bombshell. Governor Nasser El Rufai of Kaduna State says though the ruling All Progressive Congress has not met Nigerians' expectations, the party will win the 2023 presidential election and the majority of governorship elections in 2023. I think Nigerians expect much more than what we have done. But if Nigerians reflect deeply and compare with the other party, we are still a better choice, Mr. El Rufai said. Mr. El Rufai disclosed this in an interview with Channels Television on Wednesday. I believe that in 2023, the APC is going to win the presidential election as well as the majority of the governorship elections, Mr. El Rufai said. Mr. El Rufai's statement came amidst worsening economic hardship and insecurity, despite repeated promises by President Buhari's regime to turn things around. According to a report by Brookings Institute, under Buhari's watch, Nigeria's displaced in according to a report by Brookings Institute, under Buhari's watch, Nigeria displaced India to become the world's poverty capital in 2018. At the end of May 2018, our trajectory suggests that Nigeria had about 87 million people in extreme poverty compared with India's 73 million. What's more, extreme poverty in Nigeria is growing by 6 people every minute, whilst poverty in India continues to fall, the report said. Mr. Buhari's regime said it had lifted 10.5 million Nigerians out of poverty. In contrast, The World Bank said 7 million Nigerians dropped below the poverty line due to worsening inflation in the country in 2022. Recently, with the regime's importation of contaminated petrol, the ruling APC has rubbed salt into the wounds of Nigerians as fuel scarcity has persisted for weeks, disrupting commercial activities and increasing traffic snails. So there it is right there, but they will win the presidency, irrespective of that. APC's presidential candidate is expected to come from the south. The diminutive little man from Kaduna State still holding court. Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State has disclosed that the All Progressive Congress APC's presidential candidate for the 2023 election is expected to come from the southern region of the country. The Kaduna State governor, who revealed that the southern caucus of the ruling party will decide which part of the area the candidate will come from, also disclosed in an interview on Channels Television that the national chairmanship position in the ruling party will be taken by the northern region. El Rufai said, "Our expectation is that our presidential candidate will come from somewhere in the south. It is up to the southern caucus of the APC to now propose to us an acceptable candidate." The governor, who ruled out contesting for any post in the forthcoming General Convention, said he would change his mind if President Buhari tells him to go for the presidential post. El Rufai added, "That would be a different conversation. I'll explain to him why I don't think it is a good idea. But of course, if he insists, I will. But I am tired. So I am physically tired because I do take my work seriously. For the last 8 years, I have worked myself flat out and I am not young anymore. I am 63 next year. So I prefer to look at other options to contribute to the development of my country. But of course, I didn't want to run for governor, but the president insisted. So if he insists I do something, I have so much regard for him and his judgment that I will do it even if reluctantly." So I think we captured that statement, I think, in a previous gathering. But really, he doubles down that they've ceded the presidential slot to the south. So we land finally on this story, and then we'll see if there's anybody in there to take it on. Misconduct. NURTW suspends MC Oluomo indefinitely. Musiliu Akisanya, aka MC Oluomo, has been suspended indefinitely as the Lagos chairman of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW. MC Oluomo is accused of insubordination and misconduct, bordering on inciting members of the union against the national body. The decision was taken after a query was sent to MC Oluomo over alleged meddlesomeness in union matters, as well as a protest staged by his supporters, during which they accused the union at the national level of unnecessary interference in the state affairs. In a letter signed by the General Secretary of NURTW, Kabiru Yau, the NURTW boss was accused of incitement to violence and planning attacks on branches that refused to obey his orders of not accepting directives from the national headquarters of the union. The national body of the union directed MC Oluomo to immediately hand over the mantle of leadership to his deputy chairman and release all properties belonging to the transport body in his possession to the state secretary in a bid to avoid any leadership vacuum in the state. So this is the statement in full. This is to convey to you that in line with Article 42, Section 5, subsections 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 7 of the Union's Constitution, you have been placed on indefinite suspension from the office as State Chairman of Lagos State Council of National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, with effect from the 9th of March 2022. Your suspension is sequel to sustained acts of insubordination and gross your suspension is sequel to sustained acts of insubordination and gross misconduct, coupled with your clandestine plans to instigate crisis and unleash mayhem on any branch or branches of the union in Lagos State that refuses to obey your orders or instructions, not to accept directives from the national headquarters of the union. Your orchestrated plan to attack branches that may disobey your orders aforesaid will ultimately endanger public peace and order in Lagos State. It is also very likely to threaten and or affect the lives and property of peace-loving people of Lagos State, particularly those doing their legitimate businesses within motor parks. Hence the urgent need to take drastic action against you. It is on record that you were earlier issued with queries on the 25th of March. It is on record that you were earlier issued queries on the 25th of February, not March, on the 25th of February 2022 and the 3rd of March 2022, respectively, in which you were directed to explain the circumstances surrounding your untoward actions and to also show cause why disciplinary action should not be taken against you for such acts of insubordination. You bluntly neglected slash refused to respond to the second query, whilst your response to the first query was unsatisfactory. In view of your suspension, you are hereby directed to hand over the mantle of leadership of the Lagos State Council of the in view of your suspension, you are hereby directed to hand over the mantle of leadership of the Lagos State Council to the State Deputy Chairman and also surrender all union properties in your possession to the State Secretary of the Union forthwith. So MC Oluomo now kibosh, but then will he listen to any of that? This just Ajale Koko, I see you, but MC Oluomo is being sacked by the national body. But what does that even mean? I never even knew that it was under the national body. Is this the clipping of the wings of Tinubu again? Is Agbero wing being called to order? Good to see you, Ajale Koko. Oh,
yeah. Good morning, one man. How are you?
Good to see you. Yes.
Yeah. Well, only God knows the politics that is playing out there. But NURT is a national transport union organization, and I believe they can discipline any one of their members that is not following their rules. So if MC Oluomo has done something wrong that contravene their rules of engagement, they can discipline him. But we can read a lot of meaning to this. It might be that some people at the national, he has trampled on the step on the toes of some power that be at the national body of the party, or possibly is not sending money to the national body as expected, and they think, let us shake him up, let us show him that, let us rattle him with power, that we are more powerful than him, so that he can start listening to us and start doing the right thing. So it's an internal wrangling. And
because the reasons they are giving is not sufficient enough to me. They say insubordination. What does insubordination? It's just that nonsense, isn't it? Really, what does insubordination even mean? No insubordination to When was he ever subordinate to them that is now being insubordinate? It's just. I think it's a power play, isn't it? Really,
Yeah,
it's a
it's a
power
power
play.
play. Yeah,
Yeah.
power play. Yeah. It might be that the national chairman or some people at the national level, he has step on their toes, or do something in contrary to their interests, and they believe, well, this guy is becoming too powerful. He's trying to see himself as powerful than us. Let us just discipline him and just disgrace him. So everybody around the nation will know that, yes, some people can deal with Oluomo. His name is even popular than who is at the national level. We don't know.
Yes, it's Yahoo Gabiru
Yeah.
Some Mala. I never even knew that there was anybody above him.
Yeah.
Of course
No,
there'll be
he's
a national body, but I never because it looms so large over that space. You didn't
yeah.
think he had there.
So
you know, some Kabiru wants to be controlling Agbero. You must be joking. Yeah.
so
Shego Molori or something. Yeah,
it is not
Mamala.
it,
Come to Lagos now. Come on, come now. Be Kole now. Come to Lagos. There we
so
see.
I mean, his name is more popular than Kabiru. So if he's
Kabiru
disrespecting
Suleiman or
Kabiru,
something.
Kabiru have to show his own power too. That look,
Yeah,
yeah, let me discipline with Oluomo. And people
yeah.
will, people will open up their eyes that who is that person? Discipline Oluomo there, and his name
There's
will
a
come.
lot of money coming into that Lagos State chapter because that's only where the money is. Kabiru or Ibrahim or whatever his name
Yeah,
is, he wants his own share. So
what's
he's
his own
just telling
share?
you that,
So
look, I am
yeah,
here to call the,
yeah.
uh-huh.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah. So if Oluomo is not settling the people at the top as expected, I think he should understand the way the game is played too. He has to settle them. I mean, some people from around the local government in Lagos State settle him too. So he should settle the people at the top. So Kabiru has done well if he has, he has, according to their allegation, what do they call it? What did they say?
They said it's in subordination.
Yeah,
It's insubordinate, and
yeah,
it
yeah,
doesn't. It
yeah,
doesn't. Yeah, they send him query and he didn't answer properly, and you did nothing. You know,
yeah. That's a
even
big deal.
insubordination.
Yeah,
That's just
yeah.
that was what they used against that woman that they sacked in the airport authority. If they want to get rid of you, insubordination. Yeah.
So if actually we can agree with the national body that committed what is accused for, that insubordination, because when the people above you issued you with query, you have to respond and respond at the appropriate time. So his failure to respond, I think, it's an act of insubordination, and they need to discipline him. I totally agree with that. When you have an organization, that organizational structure and that hierarchical structure there must be respected. So if him at the state is not respecting the national body, they need to discipline him. So I support that. So, but I believe at the end of the day, some powerful people, politicians, I believe they will wade in and settle the imbroglio among them, and they will move on.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we're seeing Igo that is not in a wine bar. So maybe he's on his way. Good to see you, Igo. But still staying with you, Ajanle Koko. Guinness Nigeria moves from Lagos now to Ghana. Their headquarters, of course, they moved the administration. And it's really the administration that matters the most because the factory is just labor, isn't it? So they moved their headquarters because of the harsh business conditions. Unilever already gone, Dunlop gone. Twitter never even came. Facebook, everybody moving from Nigeria to Ghana. So here in Ghana, so there it is now. They are all in Ghana. So harsh economic conditions is what they are citing. No electricity. One, and then no diesel to power their plants too. So they had no choice, Ajanle Koko.
Yeah, Nigeria is a very hostile place to run business. Nigeria is an anti-business country, and the taxes too is huge for those corporate bodies. They pay like 55% tax because they have to pay the corporate tax, they pay the withholding tax, and they pay some, they pay the VAT, and they pay some other taxes. If you total everything, it's amount to like 55%. That's not, you can't run a business in such a useless country that want to tax businesses to death. You can't. And there's no stability. They come out with one thing today, they come out with another thing tomorrow, and that's the way they just operate that country. So I'm not surprised that what do you call it? Guinness is moving their administrative block to Ghana. It's very inconvenient. It's very difficult now to even, transfer money
There
out of
has to be
Nigeria.
there has to be some predictability to business. You have to there has to be some fundamentals that are predictable, so you
That
can
is
take it for
unpredictable.
granted.
Yeah,
So
but
you have to, if you are going to be running Gen, then you know that you are going to be running Gen to run that company, and
yeah,
then you facilitate for it, and then you factor that into the end product. So that's
yeah,
that. If there's electricity, then there's electricity. If
yeah,
the tax is going to be this, then it has to be that. If
yeah,
this is the support you are getting, you cannot be here one week, there the next week, then here the next. It's just
yeah,
zigzag, 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 and then it's
yeah.
aggression that they very soon they'll come and seal off the factory,
They come and seal it
kill
off.
and go,
Yeah,
everybody being kicked. It's
yeah,
just a brutish, brutal,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. You cannot
savage
really,
way to do things. Yeah.
you cannot really plan.
If not
You
for the
can't really,
population and the resources, nobody would do business in Nigeria.
no, it's you can't really plan. You can't plan for the future when you run a business in Nigeria. The state of uncertainty
Mm,
running business is high, and it's at high risk.
mm.
Nobody, no investors want to put his money in such an economy. It is difficult to run business over there, and considering all these factors that no electricity, bad road, no infrastructure. All these is just, and the worst part of it is the valuation of the currency, that you cannot really predict it, what stage, and the difficulty in taking this money out. When you run business, when you
You're
invest your
saying
country,
there's difficulty getting money out of Nigeria now. Why is that?
yeah, because they don't have sufficient dollars. They don't have
How can
sufficient
that
dollars.
be with the petrol at the price that it is now?
One man,
They should be hemorrhaging dollar everywhere now.
they have a huge debt on their neck, that this money that is coming in, they have to use it to service debt. And they continue to pile up the debt. They continue to increase the debt. The debt profile increases every day. So they have to pay the debt. And in order to make sure pay the debt, they don't allow people to transfer their money out easily. It's very difficult. Those corporate bodies, they have to transfer billions of dollars out of Nigeria every time at the end of the year, particularly end of your financial year. So when they cannot transfer it out, to their home country, for
Their shareholders or the
their
benefit.
shareholder. What is the purpose of running business, of taking that money out in the first place to invest in Nigeria. It's difficult. So when Guinness have just started moving out, at the end of the day, maybe they will pack up completely. And what that's going to give us, a lot of Nigerians are going to lose jobs. A lot of what do you call it, distributors, we pack out of business, and consequently that will kill the economy. We further suppress and put that people into serious poverty, and the economy will continue to suffer. So it is it's unfortunate that we don't have the right people in charge of the country. That is why they cannot make the right policy, the right economic policy. They cannot make the right fiscal policy. The central bank is just has turned itself to what do you call it? To bank that.
When the central bank governor is doing private jet only parties in a Caribbean island that he just booked, the whole island, then
yes, and he has turned the bank to a farmers bank, give him loan to Bama when Nigeria have an agricultural bank. What is the purpose of having an agricultural bank when it's central bank that have to be? I mean, it's just a place that is run by a bunch of criminal and corrupt leaders that doesn't have any form of agenda, to elevate the economic prosperity of that country. Well, it's not going to be. We're going to see more. More still going to.
No, yes.
It's getting bad.
There's no petrol, no electricity.
Yeah.
The roads are bad, and you're running a factory. Those elements don't come together to make one now.
It cannot.
Let me show you an example of what's led to Guinness moving out of Nigeria, because we keep saying it, but sometimes we have to put some techno color to it. So this is an example of this is the Lagos Ibadan rail service.
Are they waiting on the track for what is this? One man, what is that? One man has been kicked out by his system. I believe he will come back.
Yeah, I beg your pardon. Anytime I try to upload it,
keep playing with our regime. Keep messing with our regime. Try to make fun of our regime. We'll keep
okay, I'm making fun of your regime, but watch this. This is the Lagos Ibadan rail service that Rotimi Ameti told us he spent $40 billion to build. So this is it.
We'll keep interrupting your internet if you keep playing with us.
You know what's happened?
Yeah, lack of fuel as ahead.
The train ran out of petrol in the middle. Look at that.
For God's sake. Oh, for God's sake.
And you are telling Guinness to hang around. The train ran out of petrol.
Nonsense, for God's sake.
Did we not see this in Kaduna, Abuja? Did we not see this same thing?
Oh, Lord. Hi.
When there's kidnapping and banditry, and then you go and serve them up on a platter.
Exactly what I was going to say. Imagine those Fulani attack those guys there now. What would they explain?
Look at that.
Nobody will attack them. The killing has dropped. Nobody will attack them.
Look at that nonsensical argument now. Nobody will attack them.
Nobody will attack them, my brother. But the point is that the Nigerian politicians are not getting it right. Nobody will attack them. Their safety is our prayers. But let me say something very clear.
Ugo, let's assume
Nigerians are supporting Nigerian politicians. No, there is no Nigerian in this country that really vibe for any politician. What they do is that they look for what they will eat. You remember there was a guy who came to his social media space and said, what these politicians they deserve is a mass murder. There is one young boy as at then. He's still in the social media space. and he was taking here and there, blah, blah, they will sponsor him for coming out to say thing. See, the problem in our country is that we don't have leaders that will lead us through. But in between them, they are fighting today. So as time goes on, there will be differences. If it's for before, as Buhari pushed out
200 years, like you said yesterday,
they should employ that clause of rigging. The stupid Senate would have gone ahead to do that, but they rejected it. This will show you that we are going somewhere step by step, brother.
Step by step. Ego.
Yes.
How long has that step been taken?
Do you want it to happen with this? Not do you want it to happen with
we not hold on? Were we not taking? Hold on now. It's a process. Okay, now how long have you been on that? Were you not taking those steps under Gowon? Were you not taking it under Shagari? Did you not take those steps under Abacha, Babangida, Obasanjo? When were you not in step by step?
The world has gone global. The world has gone global.
The world has never been stagnant. The world has never been stagnant.
You are talking about this day are not the same.
What are you talking about? That's a non sequitur. That's a non sequitur argument. When was time ever stagnant? Time always progresses now, but Nigeria remains stagnant.
Who told you Nigeria remains stagnant?
Well, it's Guinness that is telling me now. Guinness, with the biggest.
They will all come back.
They will come back. They will come back.
They will all come back.
They will go and live the comfort. They will go and live the comfort safety of Ghana and come back. What are you talking about?
Do you know how many companies have moved to Ghana, relocated to Ghana from Nigeria? Because sometimes it's like you say some things and I don't even understand.
They are killing. Now the killing has dropped 80%. Come on, the killing has dropped 80%. Come on, let's pray for our country, guys. You don't just be there and begin to tell us that Nigeria is this. Nigeria is better than America and England. I approve. I've lived in the UK for more than
look at your rascality and stupidity.
It's not about rascality.
Nigeria is better than America and UK.
I can defend that for any part of this world.
Rascality and stupidity.
They have African mentality. We agree. They have this black man mentality.
Claim that they are educated and they be talking nonsense at international stage.
What are you telling me? Because they give you 20 pounds for your children or 50 pounds or whatever. Chill out, man. More think of how we can build a great nation here in Nigeria. Nigeria is a big country, richer than every other country in this world, with massive resources across the
all right. Ego, let me interrogate.
Do better.
Ego, let me interrogate this thing that you keep saying the killings has reduced in Nigeria. So this is a 24-hour search.
Bro, what's the name of this street?
Oh, you see?
I'm in Cameroon Street in Ikoyi, one of the most expensive places in this world. Listen, the whole roads are high. The trees.
In this world, what do you mean in this world?
They are here.
You know, sometimes you even talk as if you don't know that nigga because you drive around Lagos. Don't you
look around me?
Come
the
on,
lowest
man.
car
Come
you
on,
see
man.
around here is a Lexus 460, 470. Bentley. What do you want from us again in this country? We are doing well, okay?
Okay,
we are doing well, yeah.
I'm telling you. Okay. Let's change the narrative there.
The difference is that African leaders don't have
hold on now. Let me join you now. Let me join you now. Let me join you now.
Okay, come with me. One man. When next you are coming from England, I will be the one to win. So that all this your perfection and all this your
let me join you.
Drop them down.
Hold on,
I will personally host you. Don't worry.
Let me join you and hold on. Let me. Oh God! Let me join you. Let me join you and invite Ajanle Koko to join you as well. So Ajanle Koko, ignore all
I am here waiting for you.
Hold on. Ajanle Koko, ignore all the doom and woes that have just. Hold on, Ego. Ajanle Koko, ignore all the dooms and woes that I've just read out and that is happening in Nigeria. And please now, for 10 minutes solid, Ajanle Koko, tell us how wonderful Nigeria is. How wonderful is Nigeria, Ajanle Koko? According to Lord Ego.
Yeah, only ego can say it's
only in ego's mind. Only in ego's mind. Look at this guy.
Yeah,
The
only
ego. You were talking about. You were ego. Give me the space.
Okay, there are different voices here in my car, man. Come on.
But you hang out with rich people. Ego, hold on, ego.
Nigeria is the
You hang
best
out with
country in
rich
this
people. All your friends are rich people now. Are they not the ones
No.
that are enjoying the milk of the land? What will
It's
they
not like
say?
that.
What will
I
they
live
say?
with the most. I live in the ghetto till tomorrow, even from
You
the
live
rich
in
to
the ghetto.
it doesn't matter.
Ego.
But even when I'm in the
Hold
ghetto,
on.
nobody
You
kidnap
talk a
me.
lot, but you don't
Even
listen
if
at
they
all.
know if they
You
kidnap me,
talk
they
a
will collect
lot. Can
100
you
to 300
listen?
million.
This guy, man,
Nobody
you're
do
in
that.
your own world. Settle down, Ego. Hold on, Ego.
Go ahead. I will hold on. Go ahead.
When you contacted us yesterday, where were you? Where were you yesterday when you contacted us? Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
In Ikoyi, I did that. In Ikoyi, I did that.
So, and where are you now?
I'm in Ikoyi also as well.
And the previous time you contacted us from Victoria Island, you live in GRA.
Yes.
You are not the Nigerian. Your life is not the Nigerian. You are not the Nigerian. You are not who you are one of the chancers now. Is it not you that were rebelling? We will come to your house and we will picket your house. We will bring a looter. Are you not one of the chancers? You and your chancer friends are milking the fat of the land. Think of the common people now. Look at this guy.
What I'm saying is that one man, we should be realistic. We keep saying what doesn't really exist in this country. See, Nigeria is not as worst as that. Nigeria is not as bad as people used to. Come on.
Then Guinness is moving out. Yes, you keep on. Why are you defending defensively?
See, for one reason or the other.
Why are you saying Guinness moving out as a bad
senseless argument?
You can't. You don't know why they are living.
Okay, Ego, you either hold or I'm going to mute you for a second because I have to bring you. You know, I like to go with facts and I like to debunk when people say things. You are saying killings has reduced drastically. So I've narrowed your comment into a 24-hour search. And let me just give you, I have about 10 pages, but let me give you one page. In the Northwest has turned into a killing field. That is from All Africa newspaper. Kebbi killings, rep ask government to deploy army. That is from another newspaper. Oyo police confirm killing of ex-Iyalode's daughter. That is another paper. Court overrule. This is an ongoing one. Unknown gunmen kill in Ogun State. So that is another paper. Bandits kill 3, abduct 2 women in Kaduna. That is another paper. And on it goes. Mass atrocities group demand accountability. So I can go from page to page to page. And this is a 24-hour search. You know, so you are saying the killings have gone down, but
one man, can I comment? Can I comment? I agree with your reading. Some of these newspapers they also carry fake news. Forget about that. Let me not go there. Let me not go there. See,
you're a wicked man, Oigo.
They carry fake news, but you can believe your liar people in government that are lying for you.
Now, Oga, let me talk. When you compare what you read now to what used to happen before, in the past we used to have it in 20 states at the same time. Zamfara, Togi, this, that. But if you look at it this time, you will see that maybe 1 or 2 3 places you read of. So at least let us agree that to an extent there is reduction.
Okay.
What is the problem with our people? Why will not they acknowledge small facts? Am I supporting the killing? No. Am I a fool? No. But at least when difference they will see kidnapping. Okay, it's a business.
Okay, say Baba.
It's a business. Anybody can go and kidnap. When they catch you, go and spend your time in prison. It's a business anywhere. It happens everywhere across the Asian world or wherever, even in Europe. So that's why it's a business. You don't say that because kidnap, blah, blah, blah.
It's a real pity.
But for killing, unlawful killing, unwanted killing, the claiming of land and all this kind of, what do you call it? It is not common. It's not really hard of like it used to. That's the truth, brother. Take it or you leave it. Call me any name. Say whatever you want to say. I just said. I just told you.
No, it's not take it. Well, Ego, I could either take what you are saying. Hold on. I can either take what you are saying or take what the 10,000 headlines a day are saying. So one person is lying. The 10,000 headlines of killing every single day in Nigeria, or you telling us now that Nigeria is safer than Fort Knox?
If we have 10,000 now, no, we don't know that we have 75,000 before. Now, if it is 10,000, it's okay. It's dropped. It's okay. We are going down. Before you know it, will be 1,000.
Ugo.
It's okay because it never happened to you.
You cannot overrun it in 1 day. You cannot. You people come and join the police and the military and everything and fight. And stop being in the media space.
Because this thing never happened to him. Oh, that's why he's saying it's okay.
Ego is a disruptor.
Ugo. Every day you come on here and you say you are driving, you are always on the island.
Disruption, you are always on that, everything they call you. When you present the truth before them. But what I just said,
let me ask you a question.
Nothing but I'm with you.
Ego, take other voices. Hear from D, and then Aizon, and then I'll go back to Ajale Koko.
Ugo, every time you are driving, you are always on the highland. You don't leave that Ikoyi, all those axes. And
because I have
major things don't even really happen in that place. And you look like somebody that is mainly in that road every time. Those places are more secure. When last have you been to Apapa?
I've asked him to call us from Mushin now. He has never been to Mushin in his life.
Where they will bust your glass and rob you.
Have you ever been to Mushin?
No, sometimes those people that are stuck on the rail, they are stuck there. Even if there is no bandit, anything can happen to them in that place.
I drive towards
if you are driving your car,
okay, I will be in Oju Elegba with some of my colleagues, my friends.
Even your driver does not live in Motion. Even your driver does
I said when I will be in Oju Elegba, I will call you guys. Just to let you guys know that.
You don't even know.
Hold on. Too many voices.
What I'm saying to you is that the narrative out there is not what we have here. And that's the truth.
Ego, don't lie, because I know.
How will I lie?
Do you travel with security? Because I
noticed.
Hold on. Anytime you are driving, there's always one particular car that I've been seeing behind you, and that is a secure. Do you travel with security? Lie.
One man, you have started. There is no any car behind
you. You don't travel with security. You travel with security now. You are trying to pretend that you travel with security.
No, not at all.
How come that? Who is in that car? Then there is always.
Who's my friend? I have my naval friend here, and we came to pick a mechanic guy. We came to pick a mechanic guy fixing a car somewhere around this Lugard, and that's what we have.
To you now, you like by 9 be your own ghetto area.
Yeah,
I will go to you. Let that joke for come. If I let that joke for come, I go call you. Say, OJ, this is that joke environment. Even in the center of
Lagos now, even that go you where they talk, so I don't live there before.
Okay, you know everything. Why you can't tell people say Nigeria don't scatter? They go kill you.
Okay, settle down.
But it speaks for everybody in Nigeria.
No, we have too many voices now.
When you regard Oju Elegba as your own kind of look,
Oju Elegba is a ghetto to him. You see now, this is a posh man now.
It is not a ghetto. My friends are living there. They have a restaurant and whatever. I used to, don't worry, when I'm in Oju Elegba, I will be there at night. I will put people online. My friends are living everywhere I stay, I go. There is no problem in Nigeria the way you guys all felt, my man.
Igor, I have a question.
You guys are civilian soldiers. You are not
Igor, I have a question.
You don't just say that.
Hold on, Igor, hold on. You talk a lot. You talk too much. Hold on, Igor. Take a question from my zone.
Won't you be ashamed of saying that in the
podcast? Settle down. Ovie, hold on, please. Hold on, Ovie, please. Take a question from my zone, Igor.
Igor, my brother, if not only you they talk, you no go hear anybody else voice. So,
Sorry.
Okay. So make I ask you a question. So, in your opinion, why are all these companies that one man highlighted, why have they left Nigeria? In your opinion?
My opinion is, am I telling you that Nigeria is the best? No. Am I telling you that
I want to
Nigeria
hear specifically. I want to hear specifically. I'm not specifically. One man gave his reasons.
In my opinion, they are not finding the business the way they thought or the way they think about it. They are saying something different. So for the now, they have to leave. Sometimes time change. You cannot really just tell me now that the reason they left this place is because they are killing people. Did they discuss this with you?
I want to hear. I don't. Listen, Ego. What I asked you was, I want to hear specifically your opinions for why they left, not what you disagree with that they left for. You see what I'm saying? That's what you're doing. You're giving us reasons that you disagree with.
For me, I thought they left. Maybe the business is not going like they used to. Or things are changing. Maybe the income is there are differences in what they are doing. That's why they left. That is what I think or thought. But for the reason, say security, no, I don't think that's the reason. Because wherever they are,
my friend, it can't be for the reasons of lost. Because I've worked with Nigerian police, I've worked with all these guys.
Okay. All right. I'm going to ask you two things, Igor, and then I want to move back to Ajale Koko to bring the conversation back on stream. So I'm going to ask you two things. I'm going to ask you if you know the definition of some things, and if you don't know their definition, then I'm going to give you their definition. So the first thing I want to ask you is, do you know what filibustering means? Filibustering or filibustering?
Filibustering.
Bustering or to filibuster. Do you know what that means?
Filibuster.
Yeah.
Filibuster or
filibuster? Filibuster, yeah.
No, I don't know. Can you school me?
Okay. Is when you talk in an obstructive manner for a length of time. That is that's called filibustering or filibustering. So what you do is to filibuster or filibuster, and then do you know what a straw man argument is? A straw man argument.
I don't know.
So it's a form of argument where you ignore the main talking point because you don't stand on sure footing on that, and then you take the conversation into an obscure space or a satellite space, and then you filibuster at that space. So that is what you do. You filibuster or filibuster with a straw man argument. So those straw man, let's get back to Ajale Koko instead.
Do you know, can I come in?
Yeah,
can I come in?
Yeah.
Do you know those that will agree with you?
Who?
It's only those that like those that are like you, Ajale Koko, who believe that US give him 2,000 or 5,000. Those are the people that will agree with you. You tell me I'm filibustering, I'm strong.
That's insulting. That's insulting. You don't speak.
What
is saying
no,
most of these people are even probably doing better than you because you make some few changes in Nigeria.
But when you say that I'm filibustering,
I don't like the way
people that are in the US, London, these people who think that they are getting everything free, is so that we agree. Those that we agree with you. It's not people in this country that will agree with you on what you are saying, Mr.
Okay. I want you to repeat after me, and then I'll move on to Ajale Koko. So repeat these words. Ego, say Baba, say Buhari. Oh yeah, say Baba. Look at that.
Well, I'm not a Buhari supporter from time. You think because I defend his administration or I say the right thing? I never voted for Buhari. I am not a Buharist. You understand? But my position is don't come and destroy this man before he leaves. And I'm telling you, the things he is doing wrong and the things he's doing right, I am not a supporter. I have never said say Baba before or say Buhari before.
Unbelievable.
One man.
I am not a Buhari.
One man.
So when you see me in the social media space, don't think I came here to defend Buhari.
You are a one-off. There's nobody on this planet like you.
I came here to tell you what's going on in the country as a friend, man. And I came here to tell you that don't create this impression.
He won't let you. Just let him.
He won't let you. Ego, he don't do a beg. He won't let you. One man.
Lagos. let's even forget it. You don't leave Lagos and you talk about Nigeria if you go around Nigeria every week.
Hey, see, a Kaduna man is with me. Just came back through road. Mr. Man, don't say what you don't know.
You know, come on, man. Come on. There are people
here.
everywhere in Nigeria.
Look at it. A Kaduna man is here with me. Just came from Kaduna through road. You will tell people that they will kill everybody in Kaduna.
The same thing you told us. It's the same guy. It's the same guy you told us 2 days ago that came from Kaduna, that came through road. He has not
gone back. I have a question. I have a question for Ajale Koko.
Moving to see mechanic with.
All right.
Ego.
Sorry, Ego. Okay, I'm going to take you off the screen for a moment and then I'll bring you back because you won't let us have it. So, Ego, thank you. Put your question. So, leave Ego alone, everybody, because we know where Ego is. It's Say Baba, it's Say Buhari, but we are not Say Baba in here. So, let's go to put your question to Ajale Koko. Say Baba.
Yes. Ajale Koko, Egbomi, Baoni.
Baoni, how you doing?
Yes, so my brother, I want to ask you. So, I was listening to your reasons for why Guinness left. And I was discussing this with one man last night. Do you think, with all the challenges to doing business in Nigeria, that the background and experience of a candidate like Asiwaju will make a difference in the business environment so these companies can flourish?
No. There's nothing that it can do different that can make things work better. And my reason is this. Nigeria is a country that is not governed by institution. Nigeria is a country that is governed by the rule of one man. That is the presidency. And when you have a system that is run by the how do you call it? By the rule of one man, by the power of that man, by his capacity, it cannot change anything. That nation can never develop, can never get out of slumber. That is the problem we have in Nigeria. Because every time you see each president move into into power, they automatically assume that position of central government, that unitary system of government, that power, exclusive list that give them so much power over everything. That is what won't make that country
I disagree with you. I disagree with you.
The power does not spread out. The economic power does not spread out. The political power does not spread out. So we can't get it right. So
you're saying that Tinubu doesn't have the capacity to
I disagree with Ajale Koko somewhat.
He cannot do it. He cannot do it because look at the new amendment they did. Look at the new amendment they did. They voted against restructuring. If you don't restructure that country, you can't get the economy of that country well, because that country, once it's restructured, the political power is restructured, the economic power is restructured. That is when you will start to get it right. And it is only the constitution that can enable that. But when you don't have a constitution that will enable that, you cannot get it right.
Ajale Koko, if I can just come in, you say you dismiss Tinubu out of hand, but we are using Tinubu just as an example, but not maybe specifically Tinubu. Tinubu, he was a state governor twice over, and a lot of his attempts at Lagos State were frustrated by the central space. So he knows firsthand, both one, how the central space frustrates the state government and how development is timed there. So if he wants to propel the country forward, he knows what to do that, and there's no reason to say that he doesn't want to propel the country forward. He has been in business. He has been in high level private enterprise. So there's nothing to suggest that he would not be able to move the country in a forward trajectory. A good old Jonathan, he recalibrated the country's economy, and Nigeria was rebalanced to the foremost economy in Africa. And it was there was a BRICS country then that they categorized Nigeria amongst: Brazil, Indonesia, Nigeria, and I think Malaysia as well. So somebody with a good, it's only somebody like Buhari that can be this way. But somebody that is business minded, that has history in administration, especially at a high level within the Nigerian administrative space, like a state governor of a proper state, even El Rufai, he will be able to propel the country forward because he knows, one, the difficulty, and he knows, two, what the problems are and the solution. So he can marry the two together. Somebody that has lived the difficulty and now been handed the powers to the solution. Why would he not marry the two together?
What I'm saying here is that when you constitution that empowers him to when the position does not empower him to how do you call it, this thing? I'm trying to use the right word. To break, I'm trying to remember the right word to use, but
so when the position does not empower him to do the right things.
No, not the right. It's this. What's the word that you use that give power to the state? And I'm trying to use the right word.
Just describe it and then describe what you mean.
What I'm saying is that when you have a constitution that not empowers him to give the state the resource control. No, resource control. When the constitution does not empower him to give that resource control to the state, then you can't see economic growth. You cannot record that economic growth that will translate in the life of Nigerians. You will see Nigerians.
That's a bit of a red herring that the Constitution does not empower. There's just so many vehicles that they can use to give they can create a licensing template to say that the exclusive list, they are licensing it to the states and just move the result. So they can do anything just with clever policy.
No, you cannot do anything. You have to do everything according to the law. Everything has to go in line with the law.
The law is subject to interpretation.
When you don't do things, when you don't have it right, when you don't have a specific constitution that guides the nation how it's supposed to be run, you can't get it right. That is the problem. I'm not talking about Tinubu now, that he doesn't have the capacity. What I'm saying is that anybody that assumes that position and does not have that constitution, where
the system is set up to frustrate progress.
Yes. You have a centralized system. It's a military style system. It's a unitary system where all the power is concentrated in the hand of one man, and that man cannot manipulate the system any way he like, that he feel he like, with his cabal. And you can't get it right.
Okay. Let's use policing as an example. Yeah.
No, I think from what Ajelokiko is saying, listening to him, I think the question then becomes, is Tinubu the kind of character that'll be willing to look at the constitution and the framework of the country and be willing to restructure it in such a way that the economy will be more productive? That's the question that
what I am suggesting is that he doesn't necessarily have to either restructure the country or write a new constitution. All he has to do is to nest policy within what already obtains, and those policies, like I was going to use the policing as an example. So policing is in the federal exclusive list. So it's the federal preserve. But then the states are now coming up with state policing as an option. So this is with the Senate now. So the policing is still in the Federal Reserve, but they add on the appendage for state policing, which is a new creation of a policy position. So that doesn't say to change the entirety of that exclusive list. It's just to append an addendum to it that facilitates for that. So that is some form of licensing.
Okay,
so you don't have to.
But the policing situation is in the Constitution, though, right? So that policy change would have to affect you'd have to mandate a constitutional change.
You have to amend the Constitution.
Yeah, but that's an addendum, isn't it? So they don't jettison, they just add on to.
Yeah, so it's semantics. What you're saying is semantics, but they're still going
it's all in the language, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They can cleverly license elements of that exclusive list to pass resources back to the states.
It could be challenged at the law court and it will be struck down. It could be challenged by people and be struck down.
No, I don't think it will be, because the country is a willing buyer, willing seller thing, isn't it? Who's going to challenge that?
What can you say in one man? What can you be? What if it's trying to do that? It's unconstitutional. It's unconstitutional.
How so?
It's unconstitutional. When you want to do anything that is going to affect the nationhood, it has to go in line with the Constitution.
The Constitution is a fluid document. It's not set in stone. It's subject to add-ons.
Yes, but if
do you know how many times the Electoral Act has been changed since 1999? About 4 times.
Yes, that is the law of electoral process. That one is different. Because our democracy is growing, and as we run into problems, we have to make law that will make it better. So that one is better.
Look at Igo. He's pointing his camera out. Look at this guy. He's such a mischief maker. Do you see what he's doing? We see what you are doing, Igo. But carry on.
So what I'm saying, one man, is that
I want you guys to feel how it will look like.
We've been there before. They've not just built Ikoyi now. It's always been there.
That looks like
this is one of the. I don't want you to see how it looks like.
Are you even allowed to be there? I didn't know they allowed the scruffs there. Are you allowed to be there? Are they allowing scruffs in now?
One man and some of the beautiful boulevards.
This Ikoyi, this guy.
Nigeria is better than England.
This Ikoyi that is showing up. This Ikoyi that is showing up.
Nigeria is better than England. You must understand.
Where are you exactly? Where is that?
Were you in Lagos in the 60s and the 70s to know how Ikoyi look like? Hold on. Were you in Lagos in the 60s and 70s and even in the 80s to know how Ikoyi look like compared to how he look now?
Was I in Lagos in when?
You. Were you in Lagos? In
70s
or 80s, do you know how Ikoyi look like then compared to how he look now? As if we don't know how you look. Ikoyi is a useless place now.
JJC.
He doesn't know. He's showing off. He's showing off a dead Ikoyi.
60 million and 220 million are
Look at this one. He's showing off this Jaga Ikoyi. When Ikoyi was really Ikoyi, we bring up
where they go. 60 million people and 240 million are not the same.
Ego, hold on.
What are we talking about?
Ego, you cannot force. Answer the question. Were you in Ikoyi in the 60s and 70s?
Oga, 60 million and 200 million people are not the same.
You can't answer the question.
There must be change of dynamics. There must be change of
dynamics. Because Ego,
what are we talking about?
Adale Koko is calling you a JJC.
I've been in the Ikoyi since the end.
He just called me to a dead Ikoyi is what he's proud of. It's a dead Ikoyi. Ikoyi we have now. It's a dead Ikoyi.
You came to Lagos. You came to Lagos first time 2020 and now you are
showing off Ikoyi. In the
yes, I will show you.
And 70, do you know how Ikoyi look like? You don't know how Ikoyi looked like in the
God
60s,
destroying
in the
our country.
70s.
We are living
And
happily in this
he's just
country,
gallivanting and
and
showing
we are
up.
better
He
than
come
many
to
of
meet
these
dead
European
Ikoyi.
nations.
He came all
And
the
you
way
continue to
from
tell us what we don't know. This is
don't
us fault.
worry.
You can see us fault. You are telling me of the 60s. You are talking, you are comparing 250 million to 60 million. Let us use our brain. I don't know where this idea you guys have of being the kind of whatever genius you think you are to compare 60 million and 200 million and expect the same
Ego
environment
now, you talk a
and
lot
expect the same everything. It just doesn't really, I don't know, man, how you guys think.
Ego, hold on. When did you move to Lagos?
You are
Was
in
hold
Park
on,
View right now. You are moving close to Park
Take
View.
a question now.
We have
Please
peace
now.
in this country.
Oh,
See
all
people
right. I don't
driving
think,
on the
oh
road.
God.
They are happy.
They are happy.
People are driving. Look at them, happy.
Oh, God.
Nobody is being
One man,
killed.
that
Okay,
question
Nobody is
already
kidnapped
answered
or
itself. If you are in
okay.
Ikoyi and you are
Let
bringing
me.
out phone to show us the environment of Ikoyi, that shows this guy just relocated to Lagos from his village, maybe
It's
years or
2018
years.
now. 2018,
When
2019.
When they
one man
jump up
said
for
that you
Ikoyi,
were allowed there, it sounds funny, but
Imagine you have to have some sympathy for Ego. Somebody that's lived in Ugele all his life and then he land up in Lagos and
They
he
are
sees
using
all.
it.
He
They are
will think
using
he's
you
in
people. I live
paradise.
in
Now
Blackheath all my life. I
from
live in
he come
Cross all
Lagos,
my
come
life.
to Ikoyi, go
Lagos.
jump up,
They
say,
are using you
this
people
place
in
better
that
pass
place that
London,
you
no.
are.
Okay.
See, what you see
Ego,
here
hold
is
on,
us born.
everybody. I'm going
It's us
to
born.
remove you from the
What you
screen.
see is
Only
the
so look at that. Better. Ego, I've
why
removed you
now?
from this because it's going to overrun it, and we only have a limited time for the afternoon session. Ego
So,
now.
yes, let me use
but
the opportunity to come in for this Guinness living Nigeria. Why is everybody seeing as a bad thing? I mean,
he's still talking. No, look at
is
that. He's
England
still
road
talking.
better
No.
than any of these roads you are seeing? Look at it.
He didn't know I've taken him off the screen. No, this is the thing. I will bring him back now. He'll still be talking. Don't say anything. No.
You wash plates and carry dead body, mortuary walk.
That guy
All
is
this
charged
rubbish
up.
you do there.
This is say no to drugs. So kids, say no to drugs. So this is. I will bring him back now. Listen, no, Ajale Koko, don't say anything. No. Yeah, God. Wow. Ego, you are one. Thank God there's only one of you. I don't think the world can handle two egos. Thank
The
God.
problem I have with you guys is that I tell you the truth.
You tell us the truth.
I disagree with you people to come and tell us that Nigeria
I
is
was
dead.
only asking you a
That's the
question now.
problem I have with
You don't even give us the chance to have a conversation with you. I was going to ask you a
What were you
question.
asking me?
I was asking, was it 2018 or 2019? Was that when you first moved from Ugeli to Lagos? Was it 2018 or 2019 from Ugeli?
I entered Lagos for my first time in 1990 when I was coming to Dolphin Estate to see that
1990. You are
Yoruba
joking.
woman
When
who was
2019.
African before.
everything done they scatter that time.
Listen to me. Don't just be running your mouth. Listen.
imagine
I came to
the first time
Lagos
you
for my
come
first
Lagos
time in
and
1990
Dolphin
and I
Estate.
came to meet one
There in
prominent Yoruba
Ikoyi,
woman
you
with
see
my
there.
friend Biodu. He's in England, Renwick. He lives there. He's been there since 92. He didn't come to this country again. That was
He
the
just
first time
come
I
from
landed in Dolphin
Ugeli
Estate
and
in
just
the
moved to
90s.
Dolphin
Most of you
Estate.
there were not born. And you are
JJC.
there telling me,
Look at
what do
that,
you know?
JJC. Look
Who
at
is
that.
JJC? Me.
From the village straight to Ike.
Look at it.
Ego,
Victoria
Ego,
Island, Ikoyi, Adeniji, the mainland bridge. Huh?
Ego.
You are very close. You
My
are
brother,
just
make Ego, my brother, make we talk.
When I
make
used
we
to
get better
visit Dolphin
conversation.
Estate, when Dolphin was Dolphin,
you know he won't let you.
during the Babangida and Abacha era,
He won't let you.
you guys were just nobody in the street. You claim in Lagos, you this, you that.
Look at that.
Go to the
Ego.
club.
He won't let you. He won't let you. You can try. He won't let you
Look at
now. He won't
Nigeria.
let
Look at
you.
Nigeria. Look at Nigeria.
My robo brother.
Look at Nigeria. People are on the traffic. They are moving fine. Look at
My
it.
God.
What do you want?
Oh God.
You are God. You should be
Ego.
ashamed and being in another man's country, shopping burger and making noise. Come to your country and
Washing
build
dead
it.
bodies. Washing dead bodies and plates. Washing dead bodies and plates.
Washing plates, serving as this thing. Those early days,
Ego.
no, it's better now. I'm very sorry, but better now. There are other jobs like
what quarter are you living in?
That dead body you are talking about, that car where they ride, no be used car, no be used car from America. That car where you drive, no be used car from America. That's your vehicle. Ego. Your vehicle where you they ride, no be used car from America.
It doesn't matter now. Nigeria will produce gas as time goes on. Now small. Sure. Now small. Nigeria go produce their own. You go get new one. Una just dey pray make this country not fit do anything for the country.
America
again. People are bad people. You are bad
Bros,
people.
may we get better conversation.
Nigeria should not do
won't
anything
let
for
us.
Nigeria.
All right, Ego. Hold on, everybody. Ego, I'm going to mute you or just stay steady. So let's hear other voices. Thank you, Ego. The one Nigerian is Ego for president. But let me acknowledge Alexander Supercharts once I have the window. So he speaks to Ahizon. Ahizon, another brilliant mind on the platform. So, of course,
thank you, my brother.
Only the best come here. As is Lovie Ajanlekoko, of course, DOG, and the biggest brain we have, Ego himself, the mighty man from Ugeli, to Ikoyi. Who else can make that journey from Ugeli to Ikoyi?
Ego is my Jaka brother.
They tell me with their enemy. If I'm not with them, I'm their enemy. If I'm with them, I'm with them.
Okay.
Ego, can we hear from? Ego, can we hear from your guest in your car?
Hold on, let me acknowledge the super chat. So, Ego, Alexander is with you in this instance. So, he super chats to speak to you, Ego. He says, I understand Ego's position is an elitist, probably in oil and gas. So, he's an Ugeli man now in Lagos, so it's oil and gas. So, Government College Ugeli are represented. So, thank you for the super chats and thank you, Ego.
That's not the issue. That's not the issue.
Ego.
People will agree with me if they understand that.
Ego.
We don't have to destroy our country. We are doing our best. We should come and lead. Okay, Ovie, say something, please, Ovie.
Okay, so
Ego.
Yeah.
Ego.
Leave Ego alone. No, he won't let us. If you open him up again, you will have to take responsibility for it.
No, make Ovie talk. Be like say Ovie won't talk. Make him talk.
About the Guinness relocated to Nigeria. I don't
Ghana.
know why. To Ghana, sorry. I don't know why, you guys are seeing it one way. It's a two-way street. I mean, we are talking about Nigeria. We come here, we brag about how business savvy we are, how intelligent we are, how exposed we are. I mean, if a foreign company who has been in Nigerian space since 1961 or 62, if I'm not mistaken, decided to leave Nigeria, we should see that as an opportunity. It's just a matter of time before that Nigerians will take over that space. When you guys are it's a good thing for me.
What about the reasons? What about the reasons? Hold on, everybody.
Anytime.
Hold on. What about the reasons why they left, Ovie? Do you look at that?
Anytime a foreign company leaves Nigeria, I don't care whatever the reason it's a plus.
It's a plus to us.
If we want to actually empower our people,
wait,
excuse me, unless we don't believe the fact that we are capable of doing our own thing. Because
let them get out from
this idea that because the foreign company decide to as far as I'm concerned, it's bullcrap. Go your country, go stay there. No worry, give us time. With time, we will set in our home, and we are capable.
Give you time. What indication do you have that given time? Hold on. You said give you time. What indication that do you have that if you have that time, anything will be different? What are you vesting confidence in?
I'm vesting confidence on the billions of Nigerians, the business savvy of Nigerian, the exposure of an average Nigerian.
No, that's always been the case. That's always been the case. That's not a new thing. Nigerians have always been clever and educated, and this is where we are.
There's two things here. We're talking about the Nigerian spirit. I'm talking about the average Nigerian, what we can do. Give us that. Is it? As I said,
no, hold on. No, leave that. What you're saying, let's interrogate that. You are vesting your confidence in the education and capacity and creativity of the average Nigerian. This is what you're saying. and the size of the market. But that is not a new paradigm. That's been the same thing all the way through the history of Nigeria to lead us to this point.
One man.
Nigerians have, hold on, Nigeria has always been a big country since 1960. It's always had intelligent, educated people since 1960. It's always had ambition, drive, and everything since 1960. So all these things are not new things to the space. And all of those things mixed together has cascaded us to this point where companies are running marathon race, even sprint, 100-meter sprint to get out of the country. So what are you vesting the confidence in? How much time you've had? 70 years. You've had 70 years.
Can I respond to that? Please?
Let me add to that. Obie,
hold on. Let's
Obie, do you agree that some of the, you're saying who cares what the reason is? The fact that they've left means it's a plus for someone else. Do you understand that the reasons why they've left are also reasons why Nigerian homegrown manufacturers and companies cannot achieve efficiency and even produce to a level that they can export? Do you agree that some of the reasons why they left are part of the reasons why we can't develop?
Let me add on. Sorry. Hold on. Ego, don't let me remove you now. Ego. Let me add on to what Aizon is saying, and then you sweep it all up. In addition to what Aizon is saying, the Nigerian person is not beyond the wit of the Nigerian person to produce toothpick, plastic, something or the other. All of these things being imported. They sell those things for 10 naira in Nigeria, but to produce it is 100 naira in Nigeria. So that wraps into the narrative of Guinness. So all of that are of here.
Nigerian, you started from the question of it's not new. It is new. Nigeria gained our independence in 1960. Guinness coming to place 1961 or 1962. They have been in that space since till today. Yesterday they have decided to make that move. So it is new. We have never had a Nigerian be in charge of that state from day one. So let's see. Let's give that space a chance to see if unless we don't believe our capacity that we come here to brag about every day. If we believe that every Nigerian is exposed, is intelligent, is capable of achieving anything, put his amount to, then let's give that space to them for once and see. Now you are talking about
hold on. Guinness did not have to leave that space for the Nigeria. The market is big enough. So where was the Nigerian even when Guinness was there?
One man. This is a company that is owned by by a British-owned company. Does that make any sound difference to you if it's owned by the British people who are instituted the country?
No. Hold on. You are saying the space being left by Guinness will be quickly occupied by Nigerians because that's an opportunity. But what I am saying to you is that the opportunity is and was there, irrespective of Guinness being in Nigeria or not. So where was the Nigerian anyway? Irrespective of Guinness being or not being in Nigeria.
Not when we have British as a major key player. Every day we come here to accuse Dangote of monopolizing the space that is being used via politics and all that. Do you think it's only Dangote that is doing that? Or where did he learn it from? Do you think the Guinness Nigeria PLC is not doing that? Even the spirit that Nigeria produce Origin. Do you know produce Origin? It's Guinness.
They bought Origin from.
So exactly.
They have grouped the Nigerian federal government and the Nigerian people for
Nigeria Brewery is not in that space. Who knows? Maybe now Okechukwu the producer. I've been Abdullahi from Kanu the producer.
What is stopping Okechukwu and Abdullahi now? What is stopping? What is stopping Okechukwu and Abdullahi now or before?
The presence of our enslaver. That is what is stopping them. I will make that argument.
You must be joking.
I'm not joking. It's a plus.
Hold on.
Our number one problem is not the technical and religious.
You don't talk that one.
It's the national first interest. That is our number one problem.
That's why I say Fulani man, Igbo man, Ijaw man is not my fucking problem. Excuse my foreign language. The international vested interest in Nigeria are my problem. And the only way they carry out their
don't hear you
to structure their businesses
Ovie, now, if we Ovie, you have to have a conversation, my brother. You have to have a conversation.
That's why I said, no one allow me talk now. I give una time, una ask me question, but una no one allow me defend those questions.
What are you going to say? What are you going to say about Kaduna textile industry and other textile industry that are Nigerian owned that has closed down? What are you going to say about that?
Does that mean people are not taking advantage of that space already?
Okay, mention those that are taking the advantage of that space. Mention.
I'm not in position to give you
the Chinese.
Okay, all right. So let's close the case now, because you are arguing one side that is good for us, for Guinness to quit the state, for people to lose jobs, for the distributors to close down as well.
Looking at it one way. You are seeing it one way.
I'm asking you, what of those ones? What of industries? What of industries owned by Nigerians? What of industries owned by Nigerian textile? Do you know how many staff, how many people work in textile industry? Over 40,000 in one location. Those ones closed down. Many of the, do you know how many textile industry in Kaduna? As at in 80, do you know how many of them?
I am not
all of them are gone.
I am not in any way 100% disputing what you are
people
saying.
to continue to live in denial. It is good for you. Continue to live in denial.
Hold on. No. I am not 100%. We understand what you are saying. But you don't seem to get.
What I'm saying is that
you are saying it's an opportunity for somebody to come in.
It's
but what Adane is just explained now, the textile industries in the north, you know, they've been closing down since the 80s and the 90s. None of them made it into the 2000s. The reasons that they closed was the lack of ease, the harsh economic conditions in the country. So that's when they closed. So the 80s and the 90s. So now in the noughties, we are now having conglomerates move their headquarters, some even close, for the same reasons that the textile industry closed in the north. The manufacturing industry are closing in the east, and the production industries in the west, they are all closing, all for the same reason: the harsh economic conditions, the harsh business environment, the lack of facility, and the continuous depreciation of capacity to conduct business. So this is that's been the journey up till now, and now the internationals are leaving. They have all of the funds to insulate the deficit, but they are leaving. So I'm not sure.
I am not 100% disputing what you guys are saying. All I'm just saying is that it's always a two-way street. Look at it from the other way around. There's nothing we can do about it. They're already gone. Then what? Should life stop just because they are gone? They are gone.
Yeah,
so
but
now that they are gone, what is
the other way around? It says so. The way forward then is to look then at the reasons that they are adducing, both the conglomerates leaving and the local businesses shutting down. So that's where to look. Another
way again is that
one man, if I may, please.
Listen now, another thing again we should be asking. This company has been in that space for that long as Nigeria is old. What actually is their impact apart from the job they are providing to the average Nigerians, which I mean they still live by them anyway. But what have they been impacting?
Ovie, let me answer your question.
You've already said that they provide employment and pay tax.
Those companies, that Guinness you are talking about is technically owned by Nigeria. Do you know that all the shareholders, majority of the shareholders, they are Nigerians? What are you talking about?
It's a franchise, you know what the franchise is.
Do you know what you are talking about?
Listen, make I tell you now. You just
you don't know how business is run.
No, he doesn't know how business works. Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about. It's about 46% owned by Nigerians, 46%
Can I ask you a question, my brother?
And 7% owned by other vested interests. So I know what I'm saying.
I know you say you know. Make I ask you a question now.
Go ahead.
Cool down. Your blood to the hot right now. Make it cool down. Okay. So yeah, these Niger Delta people are Ajale Gogo. You see, this is the wahala I have to deal with in my region. Yeah.
Make you talk to her. Maybe you go understand your language better.
You see, you see, ego. Now so then they do for my side.
Talk to her, my son.
Yeah. So okay, let me ask you this. This is a matter of perspective. I think you're correct in the sense that if they leave, yes, they've created a void that we should exploit. But here's the problem, brother. If the fundamentals, the foundational things that are needed for us to really exploit that void are not in place, it becomes a challenge for homegrown people to then step into that space and dominate the space. And they are there. More people are there, my brother. Listen, like you said, it's owned by Diageo. Diageo is a multi-billion-dollar British company that has a lot of brand and they make money, a lot of resources. If they are walking away from this, space because of challenges, imagine what even a Nigerian multi-millionaire, the kind of challenges he will have to step into that space to achieve production so he can make a profit. That's what I'm saying to you, is that you are right to a certain degree, but you have to, you're not looking at the full picture. And the other side of the picture is that the reason why they've left is also part of the reason why we are not developing. You see when I talk?
I do agree with you, but you are not. What my problem here is that why do we come here every freaking day to chant how brilliant and how much we can achieve? That's one. Two, the fact that you are able to articulate the problem, that means the solution is right there. So the problem is that how do we take care of that? So the problem, are we not capable of doing it? Because that's why I always come here every day to challenge us. We Nigerians, the problem and the solution lies in us. If we keep, it's easy to run Nigeria down. Trust me, that's the easiest thing to do. But that is not just one-way street. That's why, in a way, I kind of agree with Ego, showing us all that. I understand what he's saying. Yes, these people are gone. So what? Unless we don't believe in ourselves.
Okay.
That long, they are gone. And you, also, I agree with you. The problem is the foundation, the system. That's the problem. Now,
let me ask you this.
If we pride ourselves that we are so intelligent, so exposed, we can do whatever, why are we so scared to face the problem that you so much?
Okay, let's have a conversation about solutions now. Based on what we've discussed right now, we've identified that the possible reasons why they've left are infrastructural. Do you agree? Yes or no?
Economic actions, yes, I agree totally.
Okay, so is infrastructure, which means power, which means logistics, which means good roads, which means good infrastructure to transport their goods from Lagos all the way down to cross rivers and the like, right? What are your solutions? Let's talk solution-based now, problem solving. What are your solutions to create the kind of environment that would make a company like Guinness stay in Nigeria?
And also to have all these people that you are saying, local people, to be able to seize that space, because the reasons why Guinness left still subsist, even if they are substituted by local content, as you're saying. So what's the solution to all the problems that's driving?
Let's talk solution based. Yeah. Let's, like you said, let's do what you suggested.
The solution is political. And the fact that we refuse to see that, we refuse to get involved, is always going to be like that. I said it's political because before now, I used to use this phrase that after God, now politicians. Because all the policies that are supposed to make things run well, make you have light, have good roads, have been made by these few people. But we refuse to see it that way. They go to church every day. They make it possible. They make it possible for this Guinness to take off from Nigeria. Because of their policy. And we refuse to get involved.
It doesn't matter how brilliant you are. Present your proposal to these people. It's left at their discretion. And God help us, these people steal our money to finance themselves year in, year out. They don't really need anybody from outside. So until we decided to change the political system, and the only way to change it is if everybody get involved, and it's a marathon. That's why I keep saying it is not going to happen overnight. Until the majority of Nigerians are conscious of how this thing works, my brother, company will begin to exist in and out as ever we want it.
Yeah, so you agree with Ajani Koko?
That's why when Buhari, they call Nigerian youth lazy, even though it's not casually saying that. It is not the individual genius that is calling lazy. No, collectively, we are not interested in the government that governs every aspect of our life. Every aspect. I did America today because of their policy. You did London today because of their policies. But still, we are not interested. So we can assemble all the best economists in the world, all the best whatever. Everything stopped at the doorstep of a politician. That's how important they are in every society. Even here in the Western world that we live in. Every proposal, everything goes through that system. So there's a reason they spend billions to make sure it's not rosy, to make sure we don't see it as something we go into. There's a reason for all that, so that we keep a lot of people.
Do you agree with Ajani Koko's suggestion earlier about the fact that the system, the framework the country is operating under is flawed? So the whole framework has to be changed, so that way production at the local level can be controlled, and then these issues can be resolved. You agree with that?
100% I agree, but who will change it? We. Now us go change them. Not be anybody go change them. The people who put it that way know why they put it.
You keep saying this way. What are you doing? What are you doing politically other than to just point fingers? What are you yourself doing politically?
Investing in my people.
What do you mean investing in your people?
Oh, that's why I invest in my people. I have a lot of people that do work that don't even relate to me. Tomorrow, if I approach those people and their constituencies with my message, tell me how they are not going to even listen. They might not buy it. That's just one. Collectively, that I'm just saying everybody should do that. No, and that is because I am not interested in say I want to make anybody vote for me. I'm not. But
all right. So you are pointing fingers. So then what qualifies you to point fingers if you are not willing to take a stand?
If I'm not, wait now. That question that you asked, you brought them to, you should have to localize it. What are you doing in your immediate community to make sure your people are conscious of what is happening, or to empower them to be able to challenge any of these
people are conscious now. What are you doing? What are you doing to effect the change as a person?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I say. My personal, since that's the direct question, I invest in my people, that my constituency that I believe in.
Everybody invests in their people.
Let me put you this way. See, this is how I approach things. I'm a privileged Nigerian. When I mean privileged Nigerian, I am somebody who Nigerian provide a platform in the name of Athletic Federation of Nigeria, and I'm able to take advantage of that. That is why I'm able to see different and able to help a little bit. You understand? That's why I say Nigeria give me a platform. That's why no matter there's still little things that Nigeria do, Nigeria give me a platform for me to be able to stand toe-to-toe with my peers around the world. And I will never forgive that.
You see, in often instances, I feel somewhat that there's a chasm between your narrative and the realities of what subsists. So what you're saying is the people have to seize charge of the country and rescue it from the people that are running it badly. But the country has fundamental flaws, because if the people seize the country from the people running it badly, a different set of people will still have to run the country. So the country still has to be run, but there are fundamentals that are just wrong within that country, both in the constitution, a lot in the orientation of the people, a lot even in the constituency of what constitutes the Nigerian state and how people perceive it. You know, how people see it as a country. And there's a lot more just to it than to say power to the people.
No,
so power to the people is a very easy thing to say. Power to
these
the
people who recycle themselves in this system, who produce them? Now, when they produce them now, they are part and parcel of our society. They are our father, mother, brothers. They are not strangers. They went to the same school, or the same school we went to, the same church, the same market, everything. Now, when they produce them, that's why I say get involved, do something.
Oh, okay. So does that not then self-defeat your narrative? If you are saying these people, hold on. If you are saying these people are Nigerians, they are your uncles, your brothers, your sons and daughters. They are Nigerians. So why then is the situation as it is? Because they are you and I, these people. So how will you and I be different if you and I were in their position? If they are already you and I, as you've just described?
That's why I said we need one man. Okay, now I think you are looking at it from the perspective of that. Okay, that's the fundamental thing, that our core fundamental problem should be changed, which is the education, the religion, and whatever you want to be. Am I getting you right?
No, what I'm saying essentially is it's very difficult for anybody to disagree when you are saying the people have to seize charge of their own destiny, because it's a very easy narrative to paint.
No, it's not. People hold it's not.
Is it not an easy? There are people
that's why it is easy.
Don't worry about all that. These are just off the shelf. These are off the shelf stuff. You are picking from the shelves to speak to this space.
The situation we are in now is not alien. If we look outside our society, we have seen people who have been this situation we are here before, who have succeeded, and those who have not succeeded. So if we want to, it's not new to us. It's not something that, we don't know. We know why things are going wrong. That's why I say ISO articulate our problem very well. But if we know our problem, then why can't we take care of it?
Yeah, but that is where the conversation is. So the conversation is not, the solution is not power to the people. It's more nuanced, it's more complex, it's more detailed, and it's more case by case than just say power to the people. So power to the people, I'm saying, is just an easy thing to say.
What am I doing? Yeah. I said I am after my constituency. So I put that as a phrase. Everybody, just don't look towards the nation or whatever, but make sure you get your own immediate constituency right. The same.
You see, outside of what you are saying, what we should be doing is, I would suggest what we are doing, to have a national conversation to agree on basic fundamentals. So if those basic fundamentals are agreed, then irrespective of whoever is there, then the fundamentals will sustain and subsist. So it's the fundamentals rather than the people that is the real thing. So we are talking about power to the people, and it's very easy to say power to the people.
That we've been having national conversation almost every day that comes, it doesn't work. It didn't work because let's look into one immediate environment, just the local government that you came from. Everybody believe and understand different things. Everybody believe that they are right. What's the national conversation? We are not together. Let's take that first before we can have that big national conversation.
But we can't have better leadership if what Ovies is saying that the leadership is you and I. If the leadership is you and I, and this is what we have, then we can't have better leadership, can we? If the leadership is already
down.
So if we don't all agree that we are the ones producing these leaders, then we are not even ready to start even to do.
Nobody is disagreeing now. Nobody is disagreeing. So then, if it is you and me producing these leaders, and if, as you said, these leaders, hold on, we're getting feedback from you, Ego. But hold on, So if you and I are the leaders, and you are saying that the leadership is produced from our uncles, sons, and daughters, etc., so then what's the point in changing the leaders? You change you and I to replace them with you and I. We're not going to.
The way we can, if we don't, it's not necessary to change the leader, because if you remember, one agreement I have with Ajane Koko is when it's painted the narrative of institution. That is the point of getting involved. and change the system.
Yeah, so those are the fundamentals now. So you see, then is that's where the conversation is, not power to the people. The conversation is to the fundamentals, not power to the people.
I keep using the word "we." The only way to change this fundamental is from the inside. We have to get involved. We don't feel the shout for us.
No. Hold on. The changes, of course, will be from the
one man policy, and the policy of Ajan Lekuku is to stay in London and America and begin to tell us that we are not doing anything.
And we're back there again.
They have nothing to contribute.
Okay.
They are criticizing these people with no solution. Right. And that's the fact.
All right.
So
you've not taken on board anything at all.
That will work for us.
Huh? If we have...
you've not taken on board a single thing that's been said, Ego.
The idea is to have like minds as many... Just like when we did, let's use a case study of Julius Malema that you are so fond of, Julius Malema of South Africa. You understand? It's a matter of time. If not him, but people from that own ideology group will produce a president. How did they start? It starts from the scratch, begin to organize, begin to mobilize people of like mind.
Even though he was part of the parliament there,
he went in full with his own gang into the system.
So he sat in the house of the chamber, criticizing the lawmakers. This.
All right.
I'm not sure. And in America, in one street, and begin to tell us rubbish. Come and sit in the parliament here and challenge these people. We can hear you then.
Okay, hold on, Ego. Hold on over here. Ego. I'm not sure how much of the conversation you were listening to, but we've evolved the conversation to the point that how is the change? Because Aizon invited us to talk about solutions, and Ovie was talking about the people have to change, have to seize their destiny in their own hands. And I was saying that it's a very easy thing to say that people should seize their destiny. That's like a power to the people narrative. But then Ovie added that the people in government, they are you and I, they are our uncles, our fathers, our sons, our daughters, our everything in between. So if they are already us, then the problem is not that. The problem is in the fundamentals. So in the fundamentals is who is the Nigerian, what is the expectation, what is the base level that the country must not go under, because Nigeria continues to redefine a new law every single day. So we have to agree on just the whole swathe of fundamentals as a base level before we can build on top of that. So it's the fundamentals and not necessarily the governance. So this is where that is a more nuanced conversation than just chanting.
That fundamental starts from a young leader.
So you don't believe that these people who are in charge don't
generational leader, forget those that are in charge.
Fundamentals. They know. But they are the other side of the island. They are the beneficiaries.
An ancestral, and you are telling me that the country will be
as Nigeria is going low, everybody is not going low. Ego will bring Ira and say, yes, in the live for Ikoyi, he has no problem. And that is the mentality of our leaders. Yes, they don't see anything wrong.
I'm all right, Jack. They call that I'm all right, Jack. When you are all right.
They gather us together every 4 years.
How can they see anything wrong?
When are we going to gather
America and you are talking from there?
Stories.
How can they see anything wrong? Will you stay in Birmingham, in England?
Let's change this conversation, Gary.
Yes, let's move on.
See anything wrong when you
I don't think anything we talk about.
Come to the parliament.
Woman, I have to go. I'll catch you in the evening.
Oh, all right. I think I'll round up here too. Yeah. So thank you, Izon. But so I think I'll round off here because I think this has been essentially an ego-dominated session.
So in conclusion, what I was saying then is that you see, Nigeria, if we don't get our constitution right, anybody that assumes the position of that president cannot do anything special for that country. because the resource control is the problem, and it's only the constitution that can give the state and the local government that power of resource control. When all power is concentrated on one man, the president, under democracy, then we are not actually running democracy. And when you don't run democracy well, you cannot have economic growth. That is what it means. Democracy is supposed to bring economic growth. That is the purpose of democracy. Let us govern ourselves. Let us run the system well, and we can have that economic growth and develop our economic potential. But you cannot have it in Nigeria. The way Nigeria is structured by the military. The two parties are militarily connected. They are military controlled party. And the structure of Nigeria is designed to work in a military way, like a unitary system of government. It's not a true federalism. And when you don't practice a true federalism in a multi-ethnic society, multi-ethnic country, a country with over 4,000 ethnic groups, you cannot get, you just be confused, you just be fighting, arguing all the time, and you will never get it right. So economic growth in Nigeria, just forget it. We can't get it until we structure everything right.
All right. Ajanle Koko, let me give you these two statements, and you tell me how they marry up. This is a statement by El Rufai. So there are two standalone statements, both said in one sentence. But I'll give you the statement, and then you tell me how these statements how they marry up. So 2023, APC will continue ruling, but not meeting Nigerians' expectations. So this is El Rufai speaking to the upcoming election. So he's telling us that APC will continue ruling the country, and he can tell us that because, of course, they control INEC, but they are not meeting Nigerians' expectations. So how can those two standpoints, how can they come together in one statement? APC will continue ruling, but not meeting Nigerians' expectations. How do you marry those two statements up, Ajanle Koko?
It's a statement telling Nigerians that don't expect any better governance in Nigeria. So it is simple. It's a very simple and clearly made statement that we are going to win. We control everything. We will, whether you like it or not, we will win the election. We will rig it if possible. And we will continue to run the country the way we have run it for the past 7 years, which means for the past 7 years, what level of growth have they given the nation? No, the nation have not been progressing for the past 7 years. It's retrogressing, and it's going down fast. So people should get this. People should understand these people. We have been telling you people, we have been telling people like Igo that these are not the right people. We have to vote a district. These two parties, we have to disrupt them. By disrupting them is by voting them out of power. When you don't vote for them, then you sentence them to political oblivion. And when they are out of place, that is when we, the people, forget about who you want to vote with. When you are looking at, oh, you don't want to vote for Sharia, I don't want to vote for Mogbalu, I don't want to vote for this, oh, they don't have this thing.
You know, Ajanle Koko,
yes.
The statement by El Rufai must be the first in the world, because I have never on this planet heard a statement like that before. He's saying that we have failed in government, is what he's saying. He's saying if you don't, hold on over here, please. He's saying we have failed in government, because if he's saying they have not met the expectations of the people, then that is admitting that they have failed in government.
Yes.
And he's telling you that come the next election, they will still be in power.
That's it.
Yeah, but
so how can those two, we have failed, but we will be in power.
We will still win.
Vote us back in. We will still win. How is that even a thing? Huh?
He put it together for situation like this.
That was not, that conversation did not come in one sentence. It was two separate questions. It was asked.
Don't worry. They were both statements were made. Both statements
so
were made.
They would match those sentences together. That guy is a propaganda, and it works.
He said it. It was in an interview. It wasn't.
Yeah,
you know.
But it was two different questions they asked him. I watched it because they asked him. He said yes. Nigeria. What is it called? He's confident that APC is going to win 2023. Then Sheuna asked him, despite that Nigerians are crying that APC has not performed to expectation. And he said, yes, he knows we have not performed to expectation, but we have done something.
They've done something.
So they just
okay, they have done something. Okay. We have examples of what they have done over here. We have examples.
I know.
Yeah,
one man. Stop propagating my country. This is propaganda. One man.
Look at that. Look at the fear in that woman's eyes, just waiting for the Fulani man to turn up.
The whole phone. First we fear the whole phone.
The girl with the Yamoto for boss, she whole phone too. The Yamoto I'm still, you know. But
don't buy this. This is
we have failed, but we will be returned. And that is it.
Is that likely to happen? Yes.
I mean, it is just unfortunate if Nigerians could vote for these people again for what they have taken this nation through. That means that we are actually sick as the mentally sick as psychiatrists, as that psychiatrist indicated some month ago. That
Nigerians are colo.
Nigerians are colo. You are not being fair. Only you just narrate how things are bad, which are deliberate anyway.
Ovie,
answer them anytime they call. And now you blame them.
How is the economic situation in Nigeria to ordinary folk in Nigeria? How is it? Does it look futuristic? Does it look hopeless? How does it look? Does it look that, do we see any sign that in the nearest future things will start to get better? Does it look like that? The way we have seen how the economy has been failing for the past 7 or 8 years, that does it look like anything is going to come back?
That depends on us Nigerians. Nigeria will always go the direction we want it.
It is not Nigerian. It's not Nigerian that go to. You need government that we organize.
Who is this government? Who is this government?
All right.
You know the meaning of government.
We don't want to look around. It will just look you around. It will look you around.
Those are the best we can produce.
All right.
Those are our best.
All right. Thank you, VA. You've given us that diet already.
Don't know those that are known as government. What are you talking about?
We empower them. We allow, everything is in our head. Now
and we're back to where we came in. So which tells us then that this is where we have to live. So thank you, gentlemen. We've got past the 2-hour mark. We reconvene in the evening. Thank you all, gentlemen. The ego has stolen the session to tell us because if anybody understand,
now use American car they use.
Look at that.
They use American car.
It's hopping from Victoria Island to Ikoyi and telling us Nigeria is good. Why will Nigeria not be good?
He came to Lagos in the 90s and he's proud of Ikoyi we have now. He didn't know how Ikoyi looked like in the 60s, in the 70s, and he's proud of it and he's showing off. Can you see how backward he is?
From Ughelli now, from Ughelli. So Ego, we are mocking you, so come back on the screen. But gentlemen, we reconvene for the evening, so I'll leave it there. Carry the conversation on within the comment section, but here I say peace. Thank you, guys.